All right, welcome everybody to the regular meeting of the Jamaica Selectboard. It is Monday, December 8th at exactly 7 p.m. The first item of business is to call for any late additions to the agenda. Anything anybody needs to add?
We need to talk about the second meeting of the month, this month.
Oh, are we canceled? Well, you know what? I have on here to discuss scheduling the budget meetings. So I will say that we'll add to that agenda item, potentially a change in the regular meeting schedule. What? Oh,
It's not me this time.
is there an echo?
There was a little.
Oh, okay. Probably this is my tonality.
No.
All right, the second, I did hear it, yeah.
It's usually the laptop, yeah. Can we hear it now? I don't hear it.
Don't hear it?
No, we're good.
I think we're good.
Good, thank you very much. The next item of business is to approve the minutes from the November 24th regular meeting. I will make a motion that we approve the minutes as presented.
Second.
Okay. I will abstain. So any discussion? Seeing no discussion, all those in favor of approving the minutes from November 24, please say aye.
Aye.
Great. So that's 3 approvals, three ayes and 1 abstention. The next order of business is to discuss scheduling budgeting meetings. So we, just looking at the calendar, and actually, did Sarah share anything on that in terms of?
No.
So,
She generally, she at one
Right.
conversation told me, whatever we guys decide,
To
we
decide,
decide,
okay.
she will make it work.
right, she used to be here, so that would be together. So we like to do 2 in January, early January. Does anybody have blackout dates the week of January 5th and 12th?
Sometimes we've done earlier than that, but I don't know if we can.
We have a meeting on the 12th here, that's the select.
That's true, that's the select board meeting. Could everyone do a meeting at about 5 o'clock on one of the days, the week of the 5th? So I'm not hearing a no. Is there a preference for a day of the week? I'm indifferent.
I work Thursday and Friday evenings, so Monday through Wednesday is great for me.
Okay, so why don't we say Wednesday, January 7th at 5 o'clock? Okay.
Works.
Okay, and I'll make a resolution when we're done. And then let's also include a meeting then the week of the 19th, and that would hopefully be the final one. How does everybody look the week of the 19th? The 19th is Martin Luther King Day, so probably not Monday.
It's also my birthday.
Happy birthday!
Want to keep it on Wednesday?
I'm happy to keep it on Wednesday, the 21st at 5. All right, so, we need a resolution. We're just scheduling. Or do we, because we're warning them? We'll warn them. Okay, those are the 2 meetings. If we need something else, we can do a quick Zoom meeting if something needs to deviate from that. And that gives you time, Tom, to incorporate the budget into the annual meeting.
Yes, that should be enough, by this by February 1st.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
All right, terrific. Now, we would otherwise have our next meeting on the 22nd. I'm gonna make a motion that we.
We have frequently, I don't know if we always do,
Always,
but, okay.
Yeah,
almost always.
almost
Yeah.
always. So I will make a motion that we cancel the December 22nd regular meeting of the select board.
Second.
All right, any further discussion on that? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Great, unanimous, thank you.
Yippee, huh?
Yes, yes. All right, Tom very graciously is going to give us, on the next order of business, an update on our phone system.
Oh, I did. Okay, so basically, everyone should have a sheet in front of them. I worked with 2 firms, as I mentioned at the last meeting. The first firm was Vonage,
My firm has wanted.
of which we have a quote here. The other was Ring Central. The guy never called me back. he said, I'll call you back Wednesday to schedule the demo, and he never called me back. So, see you later. If you look at the spreadsheet I gave to you, you'll see that if, and it kind of goes through what we currently have. So we have a cheap internet connection at the town office, we have at the town hall, we have internet, the library, nothing at the transfer station. We have an internet in the garage, because this is running over IP, so it's gonna run on the internet connection. And then also the fire station and the library are included in this as well. They both have internet. I've talked with Madeline, I've talked with Greg Lackus, and they both are excited and say, yeah, this is great. So currently we're paying about $900 a month with all our internet connections and phone lines. With the proposal, our cost will go down about $231, which is significant.
Amazing.
For a better, what I would say is a more robust system. The goal, at least, and I did talk with the library, and I have talked with the firehouse, is that we would have one number for Jamaica. You call into 4681, and then you get a menu. And if you want to go to the library, you press 3. You want to go to the town hall, you press, well, not town hall, but you want to go to the library, you press 3. You want to go to the town clerk, press 1, so on and so forth. So it's just going to be one number. We'll obviously advertise that, probably, on the website, but also the town meeting, reiterate chapter 1, it's one-stop shopping. You don't have to say, what's the town garage number again? Let me call Keith. You call the main number, hit 5, it goes to the town garage. So, yes, total cost savings over the year is about $3,000, $2,772. So, significant cost savings. I recommend moving forward on it. The way this works is we have to do some internet changes. We have to get internet at the transfer station. Because of early one.
Which we've talked about.
And we thought about it, and we said Ernie should be included in everything.
Right.
So we need to get that line put in. That's going to take 30 or 40 days. I don't know. The Vonage, once we sign the contract, they'll get us the new phones, and then we select a date, and we say, on this date you cut the line. So we're only cutting one line, and then we go back to Consolidate and say we want to cancel our plan. We're not under contract with them month to month.
Right.
So it's just logistics, which I do. So
Thank you.
If you guys want to approve me moving forward, I don't know if we want to make a motion to do that. I can start working with Vonage and getting it done. Does anyone have any questions for me before I?
The only question I would ask you is, I use the Vonage app on my phone. Would we be eligible to have it on our phones? I'm not saying you should.
That's not happening. Jessica, Sarah and I talked about that. Yeah.
You can, but you don't want to. Okay, all right.
And I told the guy, when I talk to these guys, I'm like, we want phones, the listers will each have their own phone line potentially. You could have a group where it would ring, so if you're not there, and I know it's a small space, but we can figure out how that actually looks. If it rings on someone's phone or rings on all 3 of them at once, or I don't know. I don't want you guys to get too annoyed. But
We're fine, we have 3 phones and everyone has one on their desk.
okay.
With a different number?
No, it's just
It's
one
just
number.
one number,
And
so
we're
we'll
fine. We don't get
figure out how that actually looks.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
and I'll do the installation and stuff, because it's all just.
Sound like the 21st century to me.
Yeah,
Sounds like the 21st century, yes, yeah.
Yes.
So,
Yeah. New physical equipment, that's huge.
and if they lease that for nothing, if anyone's interested, I can send you the quote from them. I have the real quote. This is just my spreadsheet up. I can send you the real quote, but they're leasing us the phones for nothing. I mean, and we get a lot of discounts, I believe, because we're municipal. But I told them, like I said, when we came in, I said, we're not looking for any bells and whistles. We don't need integration with Teams or Zoom. We don't need apps on our phone. We just want a handset that we can transfer calls between the different locations, and then we have a menu at the front end. So, let me know. So if you guys want to, like
All
I said.
right, I would, just for hygiene, I don't know that we need to, but I'm gonna make a motion that we approve the proposal as presented by Tom.
Second.
Great. Any other questions, discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Terrific, thank you, Tom.
Thank you.
All right, the next is the winter operations policy that Greg has handed around. You did mention maybe a couple small updates?
There was a few things in there we basically put this out every year. I mean, maybe you've forgotten once or twice, but it's something that doesn't go away, but this acts more as a reminder that we do have a winter operations policy. The largest part of it says that we, like the state, we do not have a bare roads policy. So they're, slow down, all those types of things. We do have a policy, included in there is a policy of parking in the right of way, basically don't interfere with the operations of the town. The one thing that I highlighted in there last year was still maintained as highlighted, what was just that, and also the no parking, which isn't our road, but on Route 30 and Route 100, that there is no overnight parking in the wintertime. There's no parking in the right of way on any of our roads. But the one thing I did change, and I know it came up last year, we've always had kind of an open, I don't know if it's an invitation, but to have access to the town sand pile for personal use. I think that's a nice thing for the community. But one thing that I added, and we can certainly back it out, but I'm gonna suggest that we have people let us know that they anticipate or that they're going to be there. I mean, some of it's, it's risky. You don't want to be climbing up the sand pile and all that kind of stuff. And I know last year it came up, what's somebody doing? Somebody's taking sand. And at least we know that somebody's there. We can explain to them it's only a bucket or two, 5 gallon or whatever for their own driveway. It's not it's not to maintain their parking lot or something.
So who
Really heavy.
who would they contact? The town garage?
I put in there either.
Okay.
I don't know if we want to get more specific than that. It's not like we need to sign them out or anything like that. It's just so we're aware, but also to make sure that somebody realizes that they can't just willy-nilly go in there and take sand.
I'm gonna make a motion that we accept the winter operations policy as presented by Greg.
Second.
Okay, so any other discussion besides Greg's introduction?
And then we'll get it posted out there, and this is acting too as, in front of the TV, everybody just go look at it, read it. There's always a lot of things going on in the wintertime to keep the roads open and the sidewalks too. I mean, that's part of it. There's still a right of way on the sidewalk, so don't put your stuff out there and that kind of thing. Yeah.
No other questions? I wanted to make sure there was deliberation time. Yeah. Well, that's a testament to Greg's excellent job. Thank you so much
I
for
haven't
the
really changed
heavy
it too much.
lifting
It's
on
been
this.
out there a while. You guys go
Right.
in nine.
Right, but and we also have to do it for funding, don't we? I thought it was also part of that. No? Okay,
Possibly.
all right.
Okay.
All right, well,
We didn't vote yet. Okay.
with that,
Okay.
I will call the vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right, unanimous. Thank you so much. Okay, are we opening cemetery tree removal bids?
I
I didn't get any.
Oh, we didn't get
Interesting.
any?
I sent a couple out.
And I had a few people
they
ask me about it, but
What was the, yeah,
They just
sorry,
asked the location
Mike
verified.
never got back to me, and the other guy, I talked to him, he said he didn't want to do it. I forget which company that was, Wise Oak or whatever. He's like,
Okay.
So we can put it back out. I can work on that some more. Sorry about that.
yeah, okay, no, that's
Okay.
fine. I mean, you
All
can't, you can only do what you can.
Yeah, and I Mike long ago I left him a message. I don't think he ever put anything in, so I don't have any.
All right, so bottom line is there are none tonight, but,
And if
Tell me
anybody's
when to
out
take
there, I mean,
another
we are
crack.
seeking bids.
Yeah,
I
we
mean,
are, right.
You need to be insured, obviously, but there's 2 trees, larger dead maples, one in the village cemetery, one in the Rossville cemetery. Reach out to Tom or any of us if you need more information.
all right, thank you. So the next item of business is just to remind folks the date and time for the hearing.
You skipped over me, I'm sorry.
I did?
Town
So-
hall.
No.
Oh,
yeah.
You're
town
next.
hall hearing,
Insurance,
vote.
insurance requirements for town hall.
Get in line.
no, first remind, the
Oh, sorry,
town
my
plan. Town
bad.
plan. So you know what though, I don't have the dates in front of me.
Oh, I do. I mean, this is obviously not gonna be too much reminder for anybody, but maybe we can post it out there on the Facebook and whatever,
Right.
but there's a hearing tomorrow,
Right.
6 PM here, for the, it's a public hearing for the revised, town plan. I was gonna say immediately following, but you're not allowed to do that. So scheduled at 7 PM is a special meeting of the select board where we anticipate acting on approving the proposed town plan.
What did you say is not allowed?
You can't say immediately following and then have the meeting start at
Have a time.
6:30. You have to
Yeah.
schedule it for a time.
That's tomorrow?
That's tomorrow.
That's tomorrow.
Yeah, I do. I was supposed to be at another town's meeting as an attorney.
Maybe in New York, yeah.
Oh, you won't be here?
I didn't.
Well, the town plan hearing will proceed as scheduled. It's whether we won't immediately be able to.
Yeah, hearing, I don't need a quorum for the hearing.
No, you don't.
You don't need a quorum for the hearing.
But we do want to act.
No, it's for 7 o'clock. We
That's fine.
want to get it done at
We want to
7.
act quickly because it's been expired for about a month and there are some risks to that.
That's correct.
I may zoom in to
I can-
7 o'clock.
I can.
Yeah, okay.
Zoom? Okay.
Oh, if we can do that, because it should be fairly straightforward. It should be quick.
Yeah, quick vote.
Just act on it.
Yeah, and that's fine if we both zoom in. That's totally fine.
Yep, I will be here, so we have a presence.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
Thank
two
you,
here,
Mark.
two in Zoom, that's
All
good.
right. Ooh, I'm having that conversation. All right, the next order of business is to readdress the question about insurance requirements for the town, for when folks rent the town hall. The current requirements are impeding accessibility, and we are you gonna make a proposal?
You want me to,
on that?
I can talk about this. I've done
Yes.
some research, so, I feel that the town hall should be more accessible. Just in my role as a town clerk, I'm like, people have called in, they're like, I gotta get insurance, it's expensive, $300. And so, I think it really turns people off, and it limits its use as a resource in town. And so, I started doing some research, I called over to Curtin Falls in Wardsboro, and said, what do you guys do for their town hall? Because they have a really nice town hall, and they have a lot of events there. And they said what they do is they cover the insurance for events unless there is alcohol involved, which not only means if you're serving alcohol, but if it's BYOB. If that's the case, if there's any alcohol present, then they require them to have supplemental insurance on top of the insurance that they offer. Now, we have insurance on this. We have a $10 million policy on all of our buildings, so we have, that is currently covered. I went to VLCT, and they're like, oh, you need to do a risk assessment for every event.
Right.
And so they have a whole.
A matrix.
A matrix,
Nice.
yeah. So,
Nice.
I understand their point of view, and I think that there could be, but some higher risk events aren't, like, if we're doing like an exercise class and someone sprains their ankle or whatever, they're not gonna come back to the town, potentially not gonna come back to the town. Like, I was in the town hall and I sprained my ankle because I was in something. That's my take. I could be wrong on that.
So-
I think a lot of this is to shed risk off of the VLCT insurance and onto private insurance and
That's
the
what they gotta
organizations that
do.
are insuring it. So I'm still working on this. I'm gonna call Newfane too. I still need to make some other calls. I just wanted people to know I'm working on this. But the goal is if someone wants to have a kid's birthday party, it's $25. It's not cost prohibitive. And I think that's important. I think it's important for the town.
What would be interesting to understand is on what basis would VLCT decline coverage?
That's a good point.
Yeah, because if there's some rider where we pay a little bit more to basically be covered for all of it, I'm totally in support of that.
Well, Wardsboro has the same policy, so whatever
Okay.
they're doing, and again,
Right.
these are recommendations. This is what the LCT is
Right,
recommending.
as long as-
they do, and I believe it. I don't think there's anything in the riders or anything. I think it just
As
is,
long as they
again,
don't decline if we're not following that matrix, that's what I wanna
Right.
understand.
and I reached out to them,
Yeah,
This is
yeah,
the same thing Sarah had found a few months ago.
okay,
That they said, yeah, you need to do a risk assessment for every single meeting. That's gonna be a bit of a challenge.
Right.
My other idea is to just create a questionnaire. A
right,
3-question, if yes, do you have alcohol at the event? I don't
and
know.
the
I
person
don't-
renting,
and if
fills
they-
out the
if yes to
questionnaire.
any of these questions,
right,
then you have to get supplemental insurance.
okay,
Something to that
I-
effect. So it's not
yeah.
something where someone's making a judgment call, it's yes or no. It's black and white.
How do other people feel about that?
Totally agree.
Yeah?
Yep, I agree, it needs to
Alright.
be used more.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, it's like you say they get anniversaries and birthday parties and all kinds of stuff down there.
right,
And we just simply do not use it. We have the Arts Council who is using it more.
right, which is
And they have
great,
their own insurance. They would have supplemental insurance, so if they want to have alcohol or whatever.
right,
But we just don't use it. And you know,
right, and it's a
it's
beautiful
not, it's
building.
not a resource for the community, especially for people in the community who don't have the resources.
Right. To
And if it's
buy
$25 to rent and you got to clean up after yourself, that's a really great resource for the town to have.
Right,
In my
I would agree.
so.
Well, thank you very much for doing the
Yeah,
work.
I will
It's
continue.
great
I'll
work.
update you in January on this, and hopefully we'll have some more.
All right,
Maybe I'll write that questionnaire if I was to do it, but I think about it a lot as well.
awesome. All right, so the next order of business is I circulated to folks an Excel file that we received from the West River Unified Education District, which kind of goes over the carrying costs that they've been incurring in order to operate the Jamaica Village School. It's coming down, not in small part because, as of last year, actually, well, it's been 2 years now, but last year there was just pre-K in the building. And what was explained to us by Greg Snow was that there's also on occasion meetings that are held there, mostly because the board wants to utilize the building somewhat. Certainly Greg Snow said, and I think it's been echoed by others, but nobody said it officially, if we call a vote, if they ask us to vote, we call a vote to close the school, and we would add, of course, to buy it back. Most certainly, not most certainly, but it seems that it's been described to me that the school board would not ask to continue to use the school as a pre-K. And in fact, it seems unlikely, even if we don't close the school and buy it back, that they would use it next year for pre-K, which is sad news, not surprising, but sad news. And they have asked us, because they're starting their budgeting process, they've asked us to please kind of make our decision whether we would like them to ask us to call a vote to close the school. So I said I would put it on the agenda.
And just for the record too, I think that just to state what these costs are, my immediate impression was they're not that big, they're not that high. They're low 30,000.
Well, actually, what's budgeted for this year is $26,300.
But mysteriously missing snow removal. So with that, I mean, we could entertain that idea to say that we now we integrate that into the town, of course, seeing if it works with Keith.
Right,
But
right, well, right. It would be zero,
Right.
exactly.
Right.
If
so we're
we-
talking
right.
33 to 35 and potentially as low as 26 is what's
well,
now, so.
I think one of the reasons why they're saying zero for snow removal is because they're anticipating not using the
Right.
building.
Yeah.
That's why.
But I would throw out there that for emergency services and whatnot, we still need to have some
Oh, we would.
minimal plowing.
Oh, I think we
Right.
would probably plow
I'm
it.
guessing they would need to too. That they
Except
could
because
just,
they're literally not using it, but we would potentially be using it. Yes, Karen.
Who said that they aren't having classes there next year? They have to have classes there.
Greg Snow said it when we were all together, that if we vote to close the school in the winter of 26-27, they would not have classes there.
If we vote to close the
Right.
school, correct.
And
but
then,
if we don't-
I'm not gonna tell you who, but I heard from other folks on the QT that would also be the case potentially if we didn't vote to close the school.
No, they have to have classes there.
Can you,
Can
Continue
Yeah,
that?
yeah, enumerate on that?
It's just part of the agreement that if the town of Jamaica does not close the school, they have to have classes there.
In the articles you're saying? That's in the articles?
I believe so.
I'm good.
Good question.
Yeah.
I don't,
There is no room for all the pre-K students in Townsend and Newfane, so they have to use the building.
I was told there's a plan to make
I've
room.
heard there's discussion of eliminating the lower age to
Yeah.
make room.
So
The 3-year-olds, right?
Yeah,
if we decide to take the building back, we are the catalyst to make the decision that there will be no more pre-K for 3-year-olds in the district.
that's not how it was described to me,
I
but-
talked to Drew Hazelton today.
and that's what he said.
Well, I said that and he,
That a decision of the town of Jamaica to take back the village school is what,
takes away pre-K for 3-year-olds in the district.
Like,
They don't have room for all the pre-K students.
well, people need to know that.
Exactly.
That's a biggie.
Part of,
There's also all of this redistricting and trying to figure out what's happening. There are certain proposals. It's a mess right now with the state, as you probably read.
Yeah, that I'm following.
Everything is a mess. One of the proposals is certainly to keep Leland and Gray because geographically it's in a good place for our students. And one of the proposals is considering eliminating some surrounding towns possibly, which would increase students in our district. So everything is up in the air. And I feel like we are pushing this button. Drew said there is nothing on their agenda right now to ask us to close the school. Because they're all waiting to find out what's happening.
Understood.
and with some potential that if other schools close or shut down, that there's
Right.
even more demand for pre-K here. That's what I'm hearing, because there's no other room.
There's no other room in Townsend and Newfane unless they build more space down in Newfane. And they were talking about doing that by bringing in those preformed trailers.
Oh boy, this is from the 19.
I know,
That was there.
it takes you way back, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So I would really like to wait on this. There's no hurry on the school board at this point. They're meeting right now, so we can't be in both places, but
And the bottom line.
so I've gotten a completely different impression because I'm getting emails asking me to make a decision to have the board consider so that they can know whether we're asking them and
For budgeting.
for budgeting purposes.
Drew was
And-
asking that as chair board.
Drew was copied on all these emails. Bob writes them, but it's Bob and Drew, and he can certainly object. I think we should make a decision based on the merits of whether we as a board and with input from the town feel that, the legislative session starts in January. We all know that unfortunately the committee that was composed and comprised under the auspices of the governor's office to come up with a proposal to establish districts, a recommendation for districts, that they did not do that. They said the districts should meet and talk amongst themselves and decide how they should be assembled. The governor has stated that he feels that that's a fail, that the committee had a specific set of obligations that they didn't meet, and so it's gonna happen in the legislature, and it's gonna happen in this next session. So I think we have to, as a board, decide, do we want to give the town the opportunity to vote whether the town should remain in control of that property? And to do that now while the legislature is going to be meeting and making a decision as to what the districts are gonna be, as well as some groupings. And that, we also share the best information we have as to whether the Jamaica Village School, under any circumstance, would be utilized as a school, a K-5 school again.
And what will happen if we don't do that? If we don't say that we want them to ask us to call a vote or however?
Right, so it's my understanding that if we don't take back the school, there could come a time, not too distant future, where the districts do not look anything like they are today. We're not following, the articles can disappear, they will be subsumed in whatever legislation is passed in the next session, or next two sessions. And at that point, all real estate owned by the school district is going to be under control of whatever the future district is. And it most likely will not look anything like the current district. So I'm anxious that there's this property that the town could lose control over. That's my personal concern based on everything that I've learned. Others have different concerns, and that's why I raise it to the board. And
I can't imagine that anybody in the districts or the state is going to tell us that we can't have that property back. I mean, can you imagine the outrage that we would have
And not
if
just
we
here
were
in
told we
Jamaica.
can't have that back? After owning it for however many years, and since 1956 or 55, and then for 10 years we don't have it, and there's an agreement that we get it back. I don't think that that's going to happen.
there's what agreement that we get back?
That we get it back for $1.
If we vote to close the
If we
school.
vote to close it.
Right. And the only way we can vote under the current articles is if we're asked by the school district to bring that to a vote. So I guess I don't have the same level of faith that if the school board decides that they want to utilize that property for some other purpose, that the future school board won't do that, and it won't be a school. The legislature can do as they wish.
I think the legislature would feel that somewhat to what Karen's saying, they're voting up here about redistricting. They're not, at least this point, they're not talking about what's gonna happen to this school down here. But there's gonna be 100 schools down here. And if they vote that all those schools disappear from the towns or from the localized, that's never gonna go anywhere, I don't think. This is me, like you said, you're
Right.
personal, this is me personal. I think right now there's so much hubbub going on up top about how they're gonna redistrict. Nobody's thought about what happens to this one school down here. And I think the cost savings that I would see within the state doesn't come down to saving $30,000 or whatever, 100,000 or 200,000. It comes down, it's getting rid of 50 school districts. And of course, that means no local control, which is gonna be the big push.
Right.
But if you can get rid of 50 superintendents and 50
They
school
are.
offices, I
They
know,
are.
but that's gonna be the savings. The savings isn't gonna come from closing the Jamaica school or any 100 other schools.
I feel like I'm not sure I'm following your
No,
point.
no,
So what does that have to do with
I'm saying-
autonomy over the property? That's where
I'm saying I feel you would not lose that. I feel all the bickering going on in the state right now about trying to save money is happening up here. And they're never gonna say, your school now goes into the big pot. And we're gonna auction them all off and we're gonna raise another $100,000 and bring our debt down a little bit more. I mean, the savings are all up here. Which is gonna be a big debate because they're gonna lose all these other local school boards, including our town.
Yeah.
It's gonna lose a lot of control. And that's where the commission threw up their arms because they were getting pushback, I think, on losing the control at the lower level. They weren't getting pushback about losing a particular school. But that's my thought.
Okay.
Okay. some crossover.
Others? No.
I mean, it's hard, I mean, this is all speculation, right? This is,
Yes.
and, you know, we're basing it on like, I don't know. I'm leaning towards this, where you are, Jessica, like, I'd like for us to have control, know that we have control over that. It's a pretty nice piece of property.
Right.
And, I mean, obviously, this, we don't know. I too was under the impression that the school board was leaning a different way, but, again, I haven't spoken directly with anyone either, but obviously, I mean, it's pretty,
Right.
it's a hard decision, and because we don't know, and everybody's up in the air. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I definitely, can I just share something? So this wrinkle of if the town takes back the property, that's somehow gonna eliminate pre-K for, how many students are there now?
Well, you're talking about 3K, but 3-year pre-K.
Right,
You're looking at parents who want their children to go there or who are reliant on it.
right, that's what I'm asking. Do you know, you don't know the number? I was just, you know.
So I think that what we need to do, before you can make a decision, I think you need our 2 board members from the school board to come in. And you need to discuss this with them and figure out what exactly is happening before we make a decision.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody wants Jamaica, any of us want Jamaica to be responsible for the loss of 3-year-old pre-K for the whole district.
Right. And with all the indecision that's happening right now, if we close that school, it's done. There's no going back. We're completely done.
Right,
And
we're opening the next phase of what we're gonna do with that property.
I'm always open
Right.
to opening new phases. I mean, I like ideas and all kinds of things, but I don't want to make a decision and have it change a lot of things that we're going to regret at some point. When I feel like there's no real rush. I mean, you're saying the legislation is meeting, but I don't think that's going to really change anything with your decision that you're talking about making.
Well, it's gonna change the district, right? So it's gonna change the body. Well, by definition it is. The districts are not staying the same. We know that for sure. There's not gonna be the West River Unified Education District Board, which is in control of the schools that it's in control of.
But
That's,
I'm not sure that the legislature is going to be able to, in however many months, change everything.
And it would
This is a
usually
long-
go into, even at best, July 1st would take effect, not the day after the legislation signed. So
Right.
it then has a little bit of a window again, it might screw up a budget or two.
We have time. I think.
so it sounds like.
I like the idea of having, see if we can get the board members in here, and I know it's the same conflicting night, but possibly.
Just tonight.
Oh, okay, the second, right, okay. But
Well,
I
there's
think,
not another meeting
Except that they're
to the
going
beginning of
into-
January, which is the same day as our next meeting.
And they're going into their budget
Right,
meetings
right.
also.
Right, so there's not an opportunity. So it sounds like, well, you guys tell me, you wanna just table this and,
If there's not really a hurry, it seems like it would be prudent if we could.
I think there is, but that's just, it's
Yeah.
one opinion.
I feel the table it.
Okay.
That's again one opinion. I know there's budget issues, that
Will you
is
make a
one
motion?
factor. Okay, I know budget issues are one factor, and obviously losing control of the school and losing three-year-old pre-K and all that are other factors, but the budgeting factor is probably the one thing that we would have to act on right now because we're going into budgets. And with that said, I think a $30,000 swing in a budget, whether it's in the school district's budget or if it comes into our budget, is something that we can all manage. So the one thing that I feel we have to act on now is mute. So I will make a motion that we table any decision on the Jamaica Village School.
Second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Nay. So,
I'm a nay.
oh,
So what's that mean?
Oh.
What happens now?
oh,
Don't know.
That is a hard question, like, ask AI.
Who's I saw Andy today.
Yeah, right, exactly.
I think if it's a deadlock,
I think it's, what is it?
then it would be, I don't know.
That's, you know what, we've never, I don't think we've ever had we
I
haven't
don't know.
faced this.
Can we call should we call a special meeting to talk with them?
I think that's not a bad idea, if they'll join. Let's do that. I'm gonna make a motion that we seek to schedule a special meeting to hear from Drew and Dana on their, Karen, what's your suggestion? That we're gonna hear from them what?
When
When?
What are we asking of them for
we're
this?
asking them to come in and discuss what they know. It seems like we have conflicting stories and no real answers, so it would be nice to hear from them.
On the pre-K issue, or?
All
All of it.
Okay,
Just to be part of this conversation, just
Okay.
as what we're having now.
okay,
On their thoughts on maybe what's happening with the redistricting, on their thoughts with all of the education, I guess. And talking about the increase, we could have a 35% increase in education this year.
35% increase
Budget,
In cost.
in cost? Oh, in cost,
Yes.
yeah.
because of health insurance?
And maybe Drew can talk about the SU and how the SU, the supervisory
Reunion.
union is, just had their budget and it went up by quite a bit and they used reserve funds to cover some of it, but Drew voted no on that and, but it passed. And that raises everybody's taxes and there's nothing that we can really do about that. It's very frustrating.
So I
The
think
motion
Just-
fails.
y-
If it's tied, the motion fails.
motion fails, yeah, okay, all right. So that's why I'm gonna say the motion has failed, so I'm making a new motion that we schedule prior to the next, our next meeting now that we've rescheduled, and the next West River Unified Education District meeting, a special meeting where we ask Drew and Dana to come in to discuss the impact of a vote on pre-K for the district, their view on what's impending in terms of the potential new district, and any other thoughts immediately relevant to our request for a vote or not to request a vote.
Second.
Okay. Any discussion on that? No, seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right, so I'll communicate some dates after reaching out to Drew and Dina. Okay. Actually, that takes us to our normal orders of business to review and approve the timesheets. I'll make a motion that we approve the timesheets for the town office, the staff, the listers, the highway road crew, and the transfer station. Thank you. Any discussion of those? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
The next order of business are the pay orders. After review, I will make a motion that we approve the pay orders as circulated.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion on those? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. All right, so next is public concerns. Do we have anybody on?
There is no one
No
else.
one in Zoom. Yes, Paul,
I can
please.
go home and call in if you like.
No, I just wanted to see if it was anyone other than the two of you here.
Sure. Regarding the vote you guys just had about inviting the members.
Oh, I'm
of-
sorry, they're actually, oh, geez.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Are there?
That didn't pop up here.
No, that says you're voting for now, that's what that says.
So there is no one else?
No.
No, there is.
Oh, there is?
There.
DNS Forrester.
Oh, Dana.
Dave.
Oh, is that Dave Forrester? Oh, okay. So, Paul, please
Yes.
share yours, and
Yeah,
then we'll
regarding the meeting
make
they're
sure
intending
that.
to have with our members of the representatives of the school board, would it be efficacious to invite maybe Laura Sevilla or somebody from Montpelier to give us a pulse test of what seems to be going on up there? Because what we're getting is being, filtered through the media and all kinds of stuff. it might be good to have our guys and flesh and blood from Montpelier at the same time for that conversation.
It's a good idea.
So, just so everybody knows, Laura pushes out a lot of information on her website about this whole issue, and it's excellent. It includes information directly relevant to our discussion here today.
Yes.
So if we can't get her because she's very busy and she's wrapping up whatever she needs to in her life before the session begins at the beginning of January, it doesn't mean that we don't have access to her viewpoints. And she does weekly and sometimes more frequently than that, updates full stop. And often there's an education piece in that. So I just want to make sure that folks in the camera land understand that, and that you guys, everybody here can see I'm on her newsletter. It's really great. Because we might, to try to get Drew, Dana, Laura, et cetera, I just think that that's going to be a challenge. I know it will be for me. But we should all know that we can have her viewpoint and her updates real time, because she's really good about that.
I agree with what you just said. It makes perfectly good sense that I do understand the logistics of pulling this stuff together. However, I think I would like to have a discussion, not just a representative of the viewpoints. Perhaps she has a lieutenant who could come in and represent her point of view, because there's going to be a dialogue that's going to require something that's perhaps not already been written down coming from Montpelier. A sense of their community compared to a sense of our community. So I'm thinking in terms of a dialogue as opposed to just, here's our representative's position in writing. That's kind of what I'm thinking about.
Okay.
Well, we'll try, right?
Yeah. I mean, she loves to do that. I mean, and I know she would absolutely want to join
She may
if she
have a
can.
staff member who could represent the position if she's not able. I'm just hoping for a human dialogue instead of a human to written public notices.
I've never seen her have a staff person. I don't think, that doesn't exist. If it's her, I mean, when they're in session,
Yeah.
there's general staff available, particularly for research and drafting, but I don't think
She
she's,
may not. I'm
yeah.
just thinking, I
If she-
appreciate what she's publishing. I just recognize the reality of
She writes it herself,
crazy, but nonetheless, it's publishable.
right?
What she's writing is what is acceptable and publishable.
Oh, you
And
think she'll be more frank?
I think we want to talk about what the sense of the community that she has may not be something she would like to put on paper.
Okay.
You follow me? And we're talking about a dialogue here, a bunch of stuff that we don't know for sure what's going on. Nobody
Right.
knows for sure what's going on,
Right.
including Montpelier.
Right,
It might give us a little bit of a heads up on how best we should be framing our positions if we have an idea of the receptors. I don't want to say biases. Let's just say the ear, who we're talking to in Montpelier, if we have a member of that body in here when we're talking about it, the humans.
right. Well, having her, I think, would just be beneficial because it's going
Absolutely.
to elevate the dialogue, full stop.
Absolutely.
But I will also say, for purposes of understanding the goals of the legislature, the governor and the heads of both houses also, I know I'm gonna sound like a broken record, but there's a huge amount of information they also have pushed out, all of that. And I have to say, I have found it pretty impressive. There's been a lot of talking points pushed out, but I would say also that their goals and where they're coming from, they're not hiding it. It's pretty transparent. So there's a lot to be gleaned. It takes a lot to go through that stuff, I can tell you, because I've not been able to look at everything I want to look at. So it's also really nice just when you're in a meeting and people are able to just talk off the cuff. You're not having to try to digest 15 pages of whatever. So for sure, I'll reach out to her. And I'm sure that if she can zoom in or attend, she will do it.
Or perhaps you would offer another legislator who could be available. I'm looking for some sense of the community up there. Because I absolutely agree with what we're talking about before. All the machinations are going on up here,
Right.
and we're down here in the mud.
Right?
And I'd kind of like to have one of those guys come down here and explain their position, so that we can get a sense. I don't want to make it sound like we're doing battle here, but it would be nice if we had a sense of them and they had a sense of us,
Right,
human to human.
right,
That's my thought.
okay.
Laura's the best for that, so.
I think,
Yeah.
or Phil Scott, he's not doing anything.
Get them down.
He got his trees cut down, he's ready.
He was here this summer.
Do we have a hand raised or anything like that? Is there anybody who's?
There's just Dave in there. Dave, I apologize for not seeing you in the waiting room, but we're in our public comment period and just curious if you wanted to add anything or ask anything?
I don't really have anything to add. I just wanted to confirm that the hearing is going to be held tomorrow.
Correct.
Yes.
And will that be on Zoom? Will Zoom be an option for that as
Yes,
well?
It will be an option, yes.
Okay, at the same connection here?
That's correct.
Perfect. Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave.
Great, thank you.
At 6.
At 6.
6
At
o'clock.
6, Dave, yeah, not at 7. Yes, 6 o'clock.
Okay, great. Karen, did you have some things?
I have a couple of things. Santa Claus came to town on Sunday. Oh my God.
It was
my
huge.
favorite thing to do. The fire department brings Santa down. Santa
And there were
was
tons of
just
kids.
wonderful. My granddaughter said, he's the real Santa. He has a real beard. Anyway, it was fantastic. West River Provisions donates, River and Rye donates. The library brings books over and the kids are able to take books. Jamaica House donates. I don't want to forget anybody here. The Eastern Star and the Masons do this. It's been going on since 1986.
Here, here.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So it's great. Jonah used to
Yeah.
come all the time. Yeah. So we have a few things going on. Mondays are group fitness with Tom Glass at 5:30 at the town hall. So it's movement and music for all levels.
He's great. He's
Yes.
certified. He's great. Doesn't matter what level
Wednesday,
you
he also does Jamaica Run Walk Club, beginner friendly, go at your own pace, and that's at 5:30, and that meets right across the street here. Silent Book Club, bring your own books, sit and read at 5 o'clock at River and Rye on Thursday, December 11th. Jamaica Holiday Market is coming this weekend. Saturday and Sunday, Original Art and Gifts Hot Cocoa Bar starts at 10:30. I can't remember what time.
3:30.
10:30 to
3:30?
Sunday, oh yes, and it's
What's this
that
weekend,
day
the
also.
13th?
Yes.
And the 14th, right?
Yes.
Both,
Saturday
yeah.
and Sunday.
We don't have yoga this Sunday because of
The market.
the market, but it says never fear, you can get an extra dose of yoga the following weekend, December 20th and 21st,
Right, 'cause
at
it's
the
too-
Winter Solstice Yoga Retreat, which is at River and Rye, which is pretty cool. It's a whole weekend of pretty awesome stuff. Wednesday night social, crafters will be at the Jamaica House at 6 o'clock. Bring a little craft or just come and talk or do whatever you want. We're also hoping that, well, not hoping, but this Sunday is the tree lighting at the Common.
What time is that?
5 o'clock.
Okay.
And after we go to River and Rye for latkes,
Latkes or latkes.
And isn't, yeah, there's a hot, but there's not a, we're not lighting a menorah. No. I said something about Hanukkah, so
Well, but
that would.
we have someone who is, that's next up, we have someone who is making a menorah because we feel that there should be some other representation and we would love lots of other representation of other beliefs also. And we're wondering if we can put the menorah on the common by the tree.
I think you're getting a thumbs up from the board.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
And like you said, any,
Yeah.
And
Dan Gobbin and Penny Allen are building it right now. And
No kidding.
It's electricity, they're using batteries to operate.
Yes, of course. That's
So-
amazing.
Yes.
Are they gonna like do the all nights or? Just,
I'm not sure on
All right,
specifics,
we'll
we
see.
talked a little bit about it, but, I haven't asked a whole lot. But
okay,
anyway, it's all really good,
perfect.
lots of good things.
All right, thank you as
Thank you.
always. Amazing.
Thank you all.
Amazing. Okay. Seeing no other items, I will make a motion to adjourn. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All right.